Hi Gemini, welcome to March. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy. So what's happening in March? It's going to be an interesting month. We have a new moon in Pisces on the 6th. Mercury goes retrograde on the 5th. Uranus moves into Taurus. And then we have a full moon on the 20th. Full moon in Libra on the 20th. And that's the same day as the spring equinox. So, let's see what the stars have to say. Let's see what the cards have to say for Gemini. We'll talk about the astrology later. What does Gemini need to know about love and relationships and life? What's coming up for Gemini? What's important for Gemini this month? What does Gemini need to know about love and life for the month of March 2019? What's happening with Gemini? This is the Steampunk Tarot that I've been using. I love these cards. They're kind of, the illustrations are gorgeous. Okay, the King of Cups. They're a little on the dark side, but I love the illustrations. The Seven of Swords. The Five of Wands. The Nine of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Nine of Wands. Five of Pentacles. The Moon. The Six of Swords. The Magician. Okay, so you start the month out with this King of Cups. The King of Cups energy, and then it's crossed by the Seven of Swords. So I feel like there is someone that is offering you love or wants to communicate their feelings to you. The King of Cups is someone who's very compassionate, very sensitive, doesn't always show his feelings. He's very tender. He could be a little shy, or he has but he's very compassionate. He may have a rough exterior or tough exterior, but on the inside he's a softie. And this particular king, you're not sure, like you have the Seven of Swords here. So that could mean, that's usually the sneak or the thief card. So either you feel like someone's trying to take something from you or steal from you in some way, or you feel like they're not being honest. There's something dishonest. They're not telling you the whole story. They're not telling you the truth. They're covering something up. So one of you, and if it's not him, maybe it's you. Maybe you're not being honest with this person. But somebody is not facing the truth about something. In the past, you had the Five of Wands. That's a card of conflict and instability. Fives are usually instability, and you have, let's see, you have two fives in this reading. This is a card when two people are, if they're fighting over petty details. They're not like, it's like you can't get on the same page. You want to do one thing, this person wants to do something else. You just can't agree on anything. Sometimes when it comes to, like, especially in the workplace, where people are just not working together as a team. So if this is in your relationship, you could feel like you're not on the same page with each other. That you've been fighting over things that are meaningless. Or you may feel conflicted about this relationship. Maybe on the inside you're not sure if you want what you're really wanting. You may not be totally happy with this person. On some level, maybe it's you. Maybe you're thinking of leaving and you're not really sharing your feelings. So this could be you with the Seven of Swords, like you're hiding how you really feel. Maybe you're tired of fighting. In the recent past, you have the Nine of Pentacles. So even if you're doing, so you might be existing, you may have your own business, or you might be working in a situation where you're independent, where you have a lot of freedom. Maybe you're feeling, you've had a situation where you were comfortable, where you had a comfortable environment, but you're feeling lonely. You're feeling like I want to share my life. It's not enough to make money. So if you've worked hard in the past to advance in your career and to amass, have a good house and a nice home, material things, whatever, it's not enough with the Nine of Pentacles. Like the woman in this card she's comfortable financially, but she's lonely. She spent so much time building up material things that she didn't spend enough time on relationships. And now it's just her and her falcon here. It's a hawk in some cards. This is a card though of seeing the truth, like having wisdom, being able to see through people and things. And sometimes it can mean harsh communication, like you have to be careful how you communicate, because you are a good communicator. And you may come across with a little bit of an edge. You could really tear people down with words. So this is a card of be careful how you wield your words, how you communicate, because you could really damage someone with words. But you do have a lot of wisdom to share, and you do have an ability to see deeply into things. So you just have to, take care with the message. Be a little bit more thoughtful about your delivery. So coming up in the future, you have the Page of Cups. And that's usually a card that comes up when someone is wanting to express their feelings. It's a message of love. So you could be getting some type of message of love. Maybe from this King of Cups, which could be a water sign. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But even if it's not the actual astrology sign, the person here is very sensitive. So it's possible that you've had arguments in the past and you've hurt each other's feelings. Maybe words were spoken. And now this message is coming up like I feel like if you've had a falling out with someone, they want to come back and make it up in some way. Because the Nine of Wands is a card of, you thought you had dealt with something and it was done and it was over, and now it's back. It's coming back to be dealt with again. So I feel like you receive some type of communication. Maybe someone wants to apologize, or someone wants to tell you how they feel. And you may feel like you have to defend yourself with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is like, it's a card of, I've been working at this goal for a long time and I really feel like giving up. A part of you may feel like, I've really tried hard on this relationship and I feel like, what's the use? We just can't get along, or, we're always fighting. This card, though, says don't give up. That you're this close to victory. But you're feeling depressed and isolated, so maybe you've been separated from someone for a while. Because the Five of Pentacles is a card of feeling, on the outside looking in, feeling separated, feeling lonely, feeling depressed, worried about money. So if that's not you, it could be someone that you're dealing with is going through a difficult time financially. And maybe they're coming to you for help. And you're kind of like concerned because you're not sure if you can trust the person. You want to help them, but you're not sure if they're being honest with you. And especially with the moon here, the moon in your environment, and if this represents a relationship, they might be kind of confused. They might be having some either mental issues or some type of psychological issue, or some type of even addiction or drinking, or because they're confused in their thinking. Sometimes the moon can represent deception, like they're not being honest. There's some dishonesty going on, or there's more to the story than meets the eye. There's something beneath the surface. So you really, before you can make a decision on whether to take this person back or not, you have to look deeper. You have to find out what the moon is hiding. And it's going to be difficult in March because we have Neptune and Mercury coming together in Pisces. And with Mercury retrograde, communications are going to be haywire. And Mercury retrograde, Mercury is your ruling planet as a Gemini. So you're going to be hearing a lot of stuff in March, because Mercury and Neptune coming together, squaring Jupiter. People are going to be throwing the BS around and exaggerating, and you just don't know what to believe. So I would not make any major decisions about a relationship until after Mercury goes direct, because there might be a lot of stuff going on that you just can't see right now. And you won't see until the end of the month, or until April even. But I feel that you still have to communicate. But you might be thinking about moving on, because you have the Six of Swords here. Six of Swords is about leaving a bad situation behind, leaving a difficult situation, navigating through troubled waters. But you're moving toward calmer shores. So you might be thinking, I just want to be out of here. I'm tired of this chaos. I'm tired of the drama. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of the lies and the cheating, or whatever it is that's dishonest. There's like a dishonesty here. It's like the whole story isn't out. You're not hearing the whole story. You're hearing bits and pieces. So you may decide to fly the coop in March, because the Six of Swords is moving on. Sometimes it can mean change of residence. But even if you don't physically move, you want to move. In your mind, you're moving on. You're like, I don't know if I want to deal with this again. And you have the Magician here as the outcome card. The Magician, you have all the tools you need for success. You're a great communicator. You're a great writer. You're a great speaker. You're a great storyteller. Use those skills. You can use those skills to manifest whatever life you want, whatever relationship you want. You don't have to settle. So if you feel like someone's not being honest with you and not telling you the whole story, or wanting to put something over on you, if you're feeling in your gut that you should be more cautious, trust those feelings. You don't have to help everyone that crosses your path, especially if you feel like someone's not being honest, or even worse, being dishonest. Sometimes we leave stuff out for different reasons, but we're not really trying to deceive someone. But then there are people who truly have an agenda and want to deceive. So you're going to be figuring that out in March. Let's see what the astrology has to say. So for you, the new moon in Pisces happens in your 10th house of career. So that's interesting. You could have some new beginnings in career. But with Neptune there, and especially with Mercury retrograde, and I don't know, there's a lot of confusion going on at work. So maybe people are not, whatever's happening at work, they're not telling you the whole story. You have to dig deeper. So don't get involved in gossip. Don't believe everything you hear in the month of March, because there are going to be a lot of rumors flying. Because Neptune and Mercury, when they get together, on the positive side of Neptune and Mercury, if you have a writing project to do at work, you're going to ace that. But if it's not creative, if whatever you're doing does not have to do with anything creative, like music, art, dance, writing, then Mercury and Neptune can mean lies, deception, faulty communication. miscommunication, especially with the fact that Mercury's going retrograde. So if you're involved in an art project and you're involved in a communications project, that's great energy. You have all the power to make that, make magic. Make your words, you can weave magic now. You have the support with this new moon. But if it doesn't have anything to do with that, and if it's like if somebody wants you to sign a contract, check the fine print and try to postpone it. You have Pluto and Saturn going through your 8th house. That's the house of other people's money. So especially if you're trying to get a loan from a bank, or you're trying to get you might get some type of inheritance. There might be some tricky, read the fine print. If you're trying to get a loan, read the fine print. Because Saturn makes things difficult. Saturn makes the institution very picky. They want all kinds of information. Pluto can bring transformation and inheritance. It can also bring intensity, like you might be dealing with these these people that are very power hungry or bullying. So don't let anybody push you around when it comes over money or resources. Venus in the 9th would be great. You could be connecting with someone from a foreign country. When Venus is in Aquarius, or you could be traveling and having a great time. You can meet someone while you're traveling. Mars is in the 12th, so when Mars is in the 12th, you might be steaming under the surface. You might not be able to express your anger. You might be like fuming, and you really don't have a target. So you could be a little passive aggressive in March. The full moon happens in Libra in your 5th house, and it also affects your 11th house. So something, you're going to find out the truth by the end. If someone's not telling you the truth, if someone is deceiving you in any way, full moons usually bring the truth to the surface. So, and it's happening across your 5th and 11th house. So you're going to find the truth about a romance, the truth about friends. It's going to affect your partnerships. And it's going to give you an opportunity for a new beginning. Either you decide to leave some people behind and make new friends or have a new romance, or you have a new beginning in a current relationship, because the truth does come out. So if there's any kind of misunderstanding or misconceptions or miscommunication, it will get straightened out toward the end of the month. Uranus is going through the 12th house, so it's like a vacuum cleaner. It's trying to sweep away, things might just kind of disappear from your life. You can just, it's a good time to drop baggage when planets go through the 12th. And it will free you. Uranus is going to free you from anything that's been holding you back. Hidden enemies, psychological blocks, old karma. So I feel like your money houses, it's going to be a time where you have to really get in touch with and heal issues around money and self-worth, because you have the north and south nodes going across your money houses, and Pluto and Saturn are hitting the south node. It's telling you the old way of doing things is not going to work. You have to change. You have to look at yourself and change. You can't depend on other people for money. You have to change the way you view money and what you're worth and what you're accepting and what you want to receive, what you want to give. You're going through major transformation around the things that you value, and also any blocks to intimacy. It's like you're finishing up this old karma, the karmic cycle that maybe has prevented you from being intimate in a relationship. So you are going to be moving on from all this deception and confusion. And the way that you're going to do that is through communication, through honest communication, through weaving your magic. So if there's something you need to get out, even as a form of healing, maybe you want to write something. you want to write a book, or you want to write poetry, or you want to do some kind of creative writing, I think it could be really healing for you. And it will help you to deal with all of the feelings, these confused feelings. It will help you put everything in perspective. But I really feel that you can create a new life for yourself, because the Magician is also about creative visualization, focusing on a goal, seeing yourself successful in that goal, in that role. And don't focus on the confusion. Leave that all behind. You are going to be moving on, I think, in March. Some of you might be moving away from a relationship that hasn't been totally honest, or something that hasn't been fulfilling. And you will be moving on to something better. But I think you're going to have this completion first before you have to. So it's like one thing ends, another thing begins. Use your communication skills to get you through any rough spots in March. And they're going to be really needed, especially with Mercury retrograde, conjunct Neptune. Because you're not going to know what to believe, and you may not don't believe everything you hear. So I hope this reading was a help to you. If you'd like a private reading, just click on the link in the description box. And we can be working together in the meantime, Gemini. Enjoy March. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.